जैसे ये है ना वैसे ये।
क्या कर रहा है चुन्नीलाल?
केमिकल वाटर प्रूफिंग। और तू?
मैं तो एशियन पेंट्स डैम्प प्रूफ वाटर प्रूफिंग कर रहा हूँ बस।
देखो
कर क्या रहा है चुन्नीलाल?
अगर इस बार भी लीकेज बंद नहीं हुआ ना तो छत पे सो जाना।
केमिकल वाटर प्रूफिंग कर रहा हूँ बे।
वाह,
तू क्या कर रहा है?
मैं तो खाना पचा रहा हूँ, ये देख।
बार बार केमिकल वाटरप्रूफिंग नहीं, एक बार एशियन पेंट्स डैम्प प्रूफ कराओ, वारंटी वाला वाटरप्रूफिंग।
स्टॉप स्टॉप स्टॉप। आपने घर को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं किया?
जी मैंने घर पे लैमिनेशन वाला पेंट लगवा लिया, एशियन पेंट्स अल्टीमा प्रोटेक्ट।
That's so smart.
तो बात फाइनल, आपकी शादी इस देखो देखो छोकरा कितना ब्यूटीफुल है, आपकी शादी इसी घर से होगी।
लैमिनेशन वाला एक्सटीरियर पेंट, एशियन पेंट्स अल्टीमा प्रोटेक्ट। बारिश, धूप और धूल को आने दो।
बार बार देखो, हजार बार देखो, ये देखने की चीज है, हमारा दिल रुबा ताली हो, ताली हो।
This is my favorite. I like the way I look.
I like this. Your wall looks amazing in this one.
The wall.
Yeah.
Ultra Sheen paint that steals your spotlight. Royale glitz with Ultra Sheen. Luxury with Teflon.
ये வீடு அழகு பெயிண்டிங் லேமினேஷன் மெருகு ये வீட்டு மாசு இங்க அல்டிமா ப்ரொடெக்ட் பாஸ் மழையின் தாக்கம் லேமினேஷன் காக்கும் வெயிலின் தீங்கையும் அல்டிமா ப்ரொடெக்ட் தாங்கும் லேமினேஷன் அல்டிமா ப்ரொடெக்ட் தான்
கண்மணிகளா ரெண்டு பெயிண்டும் ஒண்ணுதம்பா
இஸ் இட்
மழையோ வெயிலோ ஏஷியன் பெயிண்ட்ஸ் அல்டிமா ப்ரொடெக்டிங் லேமினேஷன் காட் தரும் ஆல் வெதர் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன்
Ultima Protect Fitting Lamination.
പായലും പൂപ്പലും പച്ചപ്പട പോലെ മരപ്പുറം മൊത്തം ചുവർപ്പുറം മൊത്തം കറുത്ത് വെറുത്ത് തെരുത്ത് കേരള പച്ചത്തര പോലെ.
എന്ത് ചെയ്യാനാ, എത്ര പെയിന്റ് അടിച്ചിട്ടും പിന്നെ വരുവാന്നേ.
ഇതടിച്ചാ മതി.
പായലിൽ നിന്നും പൂപ്പലിൽ നിന്നും നോൺ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് സംരക്ഷണത്തിനായി വേണം ഏഷ്യൻ പെയിന്റ്സ് അൾട്ടിമ പ്രോടെക്കിന്റെ നാനോ ആക്റ്റീവ് ലെയർ ടെക്നോളജി.
I like this kind of contextual architecture. So I find one mudra that have involving two hands and I connect them together.
Colors play such an important role. I think if you see the two walls next to each other, it breaks the monotony of this whole lane.
N06A डाल दूंगा जहाँ तक मैंने कन्नगी को ऑब्जर्व किया है, कन्नगी एक सेंटर में है, देन इसके आसपास पूरा सिटी है.
I think there's a vibrancy here that I haven't seen anywhere else in India.
I hope the neighbors like our artwork.
Many habitants there are relocated from the tsunami issue that happened since like last decade. These people, they have lost everything take them to a new place, and the most important is to find yourself, then you can recreate something.
So I hope it does just inspire them to pick up that brush and just go wild with it and make this a museum, the biggest street museum that could exist. Kanagi Nagar was a very, very different experience for me because I've not been to a place like this.
They are happy. They enjoy to see like some colors coming on the old facade that was looking a bit odd at the beginning.
They've been very, very involved in this whole process.
The people are so excited to see what's going to happen, so you feel excited as well.
And I'm sure in like 2-3 years it will be a total changement in the full perception of the Kanagi Nagar place.
Art doesn't have a boundary. Art is ageless. And I think ink derives inspiration from this space of art.
Ink stands for craft, ink stands for innovation, and of course ink stands for design. So if you merge these three territories, then you get this new product that ink will offer to its clients.
One of the biggest areas that we've been able to kind of build along with ink is to kind of bring to life this art form onto wall coverings.
We give the time, we give the funds, we give the space, and what is necessary to let creation happen. We really managed to recreate the soul and the depth of something as if it has been there for a really long while.
Today, it's time that the Indian client recognizes the value of its craft and the luxury value of the product that comes out of it.
Change can be slow and imperceptible, or rapid and noticeable, but it's constant. Time only moves forward. The wallpaper of the year, Lotus and Stilts, not only embraces transition, but celebrates it. Like a resilient lotus that blooms in the most unlikely places. The aesthetics of matchbox art and textured graphic stylings blends with a poetic palette that subtly captures the moods of the day. Bring home the soft healing power of nature with the Nilaya Nal Sarovar collection. I see the world in color. Shades in hues, tones and tints. All some see is shades of white. But there's so much more that makes my world so bright. Color is the language of dreams for every generation. Timeless, unbound, an unspoken way of communication. Adaptable, intuitive and progressive. Color interprets how I feel and how I think. Facets of my expression. Red, elemental and rich, like the soil when it meets the sunlight. Black, endless and magnetic, the calming breeze of the night. Gold, magical and mysterious. Each hue is a sublime shade of delight. There's something about color that makes everything alright. I search for inspiration in things sublime, built to last, withstand the test of time. I find my true colors through my quirk, style and everything that is mine. Grey, strong, impactful and balanced. The feeling of comfort in my world of whimsicality. Beige, subtle and sophisticated. A sense of serenity. Rose gold, exquisite and unique. A celebration of my individuality. Every color is a shade of me. Every space I build in is a canvas brought to life. There are no rules that bind. Every option you see is the next clue you find. So, pause for a second and rewind. What color is your mind? Bath Sense Canvas.
जैसे ये है ना वैसे ये क्या कर रहा है चुन्नीलाल? केमिकल वाटर प्रूफिंग। और तू? मैं तो एशियन पेंट्स डैम प्रूफ वाटर प्रूफिंग कर रहा हूँ बस।
देखो
कर क्या रहा है चुन्नीलाल?
अगर इस बार भी लीकेज बंद नहीं हुआ ना तो छत पे सो जाना।
केमिकल वाटर प्रूफिंग कर रहा हूँ बे। वाह तू क्या कर रहा है? मैं तो खाना पचा रहा हूँ। ये देख
बार बार केमिकल वाटरप्रूफिंग नहीं, एक बार एशियन पेंट्स डैम प्रूफ कराओ। वारंटी वाला वाटरप्रूफिंग।
स्टॉप। आपने घर को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं किया?
जी मैंने घर पे लैमिनेशन वाला पेंट लगवा लिया। एशियन पेंट्स अल्टीमा प्रोटेक्ट।
That's so smart.
तो बात फाइनल। आपकी शादी इस देखो छोकरा कितना ब्यूटीफुल है। आपकी शादी इसी घर से होगी।
लैमिनेशन वाला एक्सटीरियर पेंट एशियन पेंट्स अल्टीमा प्रोटेक्ट। बारिश, धूप और धूल को आने दो।
बार बार देखो, हजार बार देखो, ये देखने की चीज है, हमारा दिल रुबा ताली हो।
This is my favorite. I like the way I look.
I like this. Your wall looks amazing in this one.
The wall.
Yeah.
Ultra Sheen paint that steals your spotlight. Royal Glitz with Ultra Sheen. Luxury with Teflon.
என் வீடு அழகு பெயிண்டிங் லேமினேஷன் மெருகு என் வீட்டு மாசு இங்க அல்டிமா ப்ரோடெக்ட் பாஸ் மழையின் தாக்கம் லேமினேஷன் காக்கும் வெயிலின் தீங்கையும் அல்டிமா ப்ரோடெக்ட் தாங்கும் லேமினேஷன் அல்டிமா ப்ரோடெக்ட் தான்
கண்மணிகளா 2 பெயிண்ட் ஒண்ணுதம்பா.
Is it?
மழையோ வெயிலோ ஏஷியன் பெயிண்ட்ஸ் அல்டிமா ப்ரொடெக்டின் லேமினேஷன் காட் தரும் ஆல் வெதர் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன்.
அல்டிமா ப்ரோடெக்ட் ஃபீட்டிங் லேமினேஷன்.
പായലും പൂപ്പലും പച്ചപ്പട പോലെ മരപ്പുറം മൊത്തം ചുവർപ്പുറം മൊത്തം കറുത്ത് വെറുത്ത് വെറുത്ത് കേരള പച്ചത്തര പോലെ. എന്ത് ചെയ്യാനാ, എത്ര പെയിന്റ് അടിച്ചിട്ടും പിന്നെ വരുവാന്നേ. ഇതടിച്ചാ മതി.
പായലിൽ നിന്നും പൂപ്പലിൽ നിന്നും നോൺ സ്റ്റോപ്പ് സംരക്ഷണത്തിനായി വേണം ഏഷ്യൻ പെയിന്റ്സ് അൾട്ടിമ പ്രോടെക്കിന്റെ നാനോ ആക്റ്റീവ് ലെയർ ടെക്നോളജി.
I like this kind of contextual architecture. So I find one mudra that have involving 2 hands and I connect them together.
Colors play such an important role. I think if you see the 2 walls next to each other, it breaks the monotony of this whole lane.
N06A डाल दूंगा. जहाँ तक मैंने कन्नगी को ऑब्जर्व किया है, कन्नगी एक सेंटर में है, देन इसके आसपास पूरा सिटी है.
I think there's a vibrancy here that I haven't seen anywhere else in India.
I hope the neighbors like our artwork.
Many habitants there are relocated from the tsunami issue that happened since like last decade. These people, they have lost everything, they come to a new place, and the most important is to find yourself, then you can recreate something.
So I hope that just inspire them to pick up that brush and just go wild with it and make this a museum, the biggest street museum that could exist. Kannagi Nagar was a very, very different experience for me because I've not been to a place like this.
They are happy, they enjoy to see like some colors coming on the old facade that was looking a bit odd at the beginning.
They've been very, very involved in this whole process.
The people are so excited to see what's going to happen, so you feel excited as well.
And I'm sure in like 2-3 years it will be a total changement in the full perception of the Kannagi Nagar place.
Art doesn't have a boundary. Art is ageless. And I think ink derives inspiration from the space of art. Ink stands for craft, ink stands for innovation, and of course, ink stands for design. So if you merge these 3 territories, then you get this new product that ink will offer to its clients.
One of the biggest areas that we've been able to kind of build along with ink is to kind of bring to life this art form onto wall coverings.
We give the time, we give the funds, we give the space, and what is necessary to let creation happen. We really manage to recreate the soul and the depth of something as if it has been there for a really long while.
Today, it's time that the Indian client recognizes the value of its craft and the luxury value of the product that comes out of it.
Change can be slow and imperceptible, or rapid and noticeable, but it's constant. Time only moves forward. The wallpaper of the year, Lotus and Stilts, not only embraces transition, but celebrates it. Like a resilient lotus that blooms in the most unlikely places. The aesthetics of matchbox art and textured graphic stylings blends with a poetic palette that subtly captures the moods of the day. Bring home the soft healing power of nature with the Nilaya Nal Sarovar collection.
I see the world in color. Shades in hues, tones and tints. All some see is shades of white. But there's so much more that makes my world so bright. Color is the language of dreams for every generation. Timeless, unbound, an unspoken way of communication. Adaptable, intuitive and progressive. Color interprets how I feel and how I think. Facets of my expression. Red, elemental and rich, like the soil when it meets the sunlight. Black, endless and magnetic, the calming breeze of the night. Gold, magical and mysterious. Each hue is a sublime shade of delight. There's something about color that makes everything all right. I search for inspiration in things sublime, built to last, withstand the test of time. I find my true colors through my quirks, style, and everything that is mine. Grey, strong, impactful, and balanced. The feeling of comfort in my world of whimsicality. Beige, subtle and sophisticated. A sense of serenity. Rose gold, exquisite and unique. A celebration of my individuality. Every color is a shade of me. Every space I build in is a canvas brought to life. There are no rules that bind. Every option you see is the next clue you find. So, pause for a second and rewind. What color is your mind? Bath Sense Canvas.
Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all of you to the 76th Annual General Meeting of Asian Paints Limited. I hope you and your family members are safe and secure. I'm Deepak Satwalekar, Independent Director and Chairman of your company. I'm joining this meeting from Mumbai. It is with pleasure that I am addressing all of you today for the first time after being appointed as the Chairman of the Board of Directors of your company. Before we start, my first thoughts are in remembrance of Mr. Abhay Vakil, Non-Executive Promoter Director, who departed for heavenly abode in November last year. Mr. Abhay Vakil contributed immensely to the growing stature of your company in various capacities over his long association. Mr. Abhay Vakil's sad demise is an irreparable loss for our company. Mr. Amar Vakil, an erstwhile non-executive promoter director on the board, also passed away last year. I place on record our profound appreciation for their valuable contributions to the board and the company. They will always be remembered. Dear members, this AGM is being conducted through video conference in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, various circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The company has taken all efforts to enable its shareholders to participate through video conference and vote at the AGM in a seamless manner. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2013. The quorum being present, I call this meeting to order. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I shall introduce my fellow colleagues on the board who are attending this meeting from different locations. Let me start by introducing the Vice Chairman of your company, Mr. Manish Choksi. Mr. Manish Choksi is the Non-Executive Vice Chairman of your company and a member of the Nominations and Remuneration Committee and the Investment Committee. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Amit Singhal. Mr. Amit Singhal is the Managing Director and CEO of your company and a member of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and the Investment Committee. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Ashwin Dani. Mr. Ashwin Dani is the Non-Executive Director of your company. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Next would be Mrs. Vibha Paul Rishi. Mrs. Vibha Paul Rishi is an independent director of your company. She is the chairperson of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee and the Risk Management Committee and a member of the Audit Committee and Corporate Social Responsibility Committee. She is attending this meeting from Gurugram. I would now be introducing Mr. Suresh Narayanan. Mr. Suresh Narayanan is an independent director of your company. He is the chairman of the Nominations and Remuneration Committee and a member of the Investment Committee. He is attending this meeting from Gurugram. Next, I would be introducing Mr. Milind Saravate. Mr. Milind Saravate is an independent director of your company. He is the chairman of the Audit Committee. Mr. Saravate is attending this meeting from Thane. Next, I would like to introduce Mr. Malav Dani. Mr. Malav Dani is the Non-Executive Director of your company. He is the chairman of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and a member of the Investment Committee. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. Next up is Ms. Amrita Vakil. Ms. Amrita Vakil is a Non-Executive Director of your company. She is also a member of the Corporate Social Responsibility Committee and the Investment Committee. Ms. Amrita Vakil is attending this meeting from Mumbai. I would now be introducing Mr. Jigish Choksi. Mr. Jigish Choksi is a Non-Executive Director of your company and a member of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. He is attending this meeting from Mumbai. And lastly, Ms. Nehal Vakil. Ms. Nehal Vakil is a Non-Executive Director of your company and a member of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee. She is attending this meeting from Mumbai. I would like to inform you that Mr. R. Seshasai and Mrs. Pallavi Shroff, independent directors of your company, would not be joining today's meeting due to certain unavoidable circumstances. We also have our CFO and Company Secretary, Mr. R.J. Jaimurugan, joining the meeting from Mumbai. Mr. Rupen Bhatt, partner, Deloitte Haskins & Sells, LLP, statutory auditors. Mr. Rasesh Choksi, partner, RA & Company, cost auditors. And Dr. K.R. Chandratre, our secretarial auditor, have also joined the meeting. I now request Mr. Jaimurugan, CFO and Company Secretary, to provide general instructions to the members regarding participation in this meeting.
Good morning, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome all of you to the 76th Annual General Meeting of Asian Paints Limited. I request you to take note of the general instructions regarding participation and voting at this meeting. Your company has made available the facility to participate in the AGM through video conference. in terms of the relevant circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the Securities Exchange Board of India. Your company is tied up with National Securities Depositories Limited to provide the facility for voting through remote e-voting during the AGM, and participation in the AGM through video conference. Live streaming of this meeting is being webcast on NSDL's website. The register of directors and key managerial personnel and their shareholding, the register of contracts or arrangements in which directors are interested, and other relevant documents referred in the AGM notice and the explanatory statement have been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM upon login to NSDL e-voting system. As the AGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not applicable. During the AGM, if any shareholder other than speaker shareholder faces any technical issues, they may contact the helpline number mentioned in the notice of the AGM. Depending on the availability of time, the shareholders who have registered themselves to speak at this AGM would be provided an opportunity to ask questions or express their views. It may be noted that your company reserves the right to limit the number of shareholders asking questions at the AGM. The moderator will facilitate this session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers. During the question and answer session, I will sequentially announce the names of the speaker shareholders, and the maximum time allowed to each speaker would be 2 minutes. Members are requested to refrain from repeating questions or observations already made by fellow speakers. For better experience, we would request the speaker shareholders to use earphones so that they are clearly audible. Verify the network connectivity, ensure Wi-Fi is not connected to any other devices, no other applications are running in the background, and there is proper lighting for good video experience. Speaker shareholders will be put on mute mode by the moderator until the time question and answer session starts. Once the names of the speaker shareholders are announced, the moderator will unmute them. The speaker shareholders may choose to turn on their video before addressing the meeting. If any shareholder is unable to speak due to connectivity issues, I will ask the next speaker shareholder to address the meeting. Once the connectivity improves and if the time permits, the speaker shareholders may be called upon again to join. Only after the other speaker shareholders have completed their turn. The company is providing the facility to vote electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. The shareholders who have not cast their votes yet and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to vote during the meeting through e-voting system provided by NSDL. Thank you. I would now request Mr. Deepak Satwalikar, Chairman of the company, to address the shareholders.
The last couple of years have been affected by heightened unpredictability and disruptions of large magnitude, while also ushering in new opportunities and novel ways to take the business forward. As we meet virtually today, amid the recent COVID resurgence and the new normal, it is my pleasure to acknowledge on behalf of the board that your company has delivered another year of solid performance even during these volatile times. The last financial year was a year of recovery from the lows of the earlier pandemic year, a year of renewed optimism in the economy, albeit with its own set of challenges in the form of increasing inflationary pressures and the two waves of COVID-19 variants. Today, the uncertainty in the environment has again increased, fueled by changing macroeconomic dynamics and geopolitical turbulence. However, amidst these uncertainties, your company continues to strive forward with a strong growth trajectory under the leadership of Mr. Amit Singhal. During his tenure, Mr. Amit Singhal has delivered exceptional performance in the coatings business, both industrial and decorative businesses, along with propelling your company towards becoming a strong home decor brand. I'm delighted to mention that the board has unanimously recommended his reappointment as Managing Director and CEO of your company for a further period of 5 years from 1st April 2023 to 31st March 2028. I would request all shareholders to approve his reappointment. Dr. S. Shivram and Mr. M.K. Sharma retired from the board of directors of your company upon completion of their tenure as independent directors. Your company has benefited greatly from their guidance and the role they have played in further strengthening the governance standards of your company. I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Milind Saravate, independent director on the board and as the chairman of the audit committee. The board will gain immense value from his rich and diverse industry experience. I take this opportunity to also welcome Ms. Nehal Vakil, non-executive promoter director on the board, and look forward to her contribution towards taking your company ahead. Moving ahead, I would like to take you through the business highlights of the last financial year. The year saw the onset of the second wave of the pandemic, which affected the demand recovery. Our operations, however, made a quick recovery, given our learnings from the first wave and through our continuous efforts to raise the customer value proposition across product categories and price points. While inflation headwinds impacted our margins, we took a series of price increases along with cost optimization measures to mitigate the impact, recovering the margins sequentially over the quarters. Our network penetration initiatives, complemented by brand strength, opened allied avenues of distribution in the markets. Overall, our decorative business delivered a volume growth of 31% and a strong value growth of 36% for the year. With innovation as the bedrock of our strategy, we launched 29 new products across the range, which will become future growth levers. This was led by the launch of Royale Glitz, an ultra-luxury interior emulsion paint providing unrivaled sheen along with exceptional stain removal and anti-burnishing properties. Our continued focus on empowering the customer with product upgradations also gained further traction. The foray into smart care waterproofing solutions continues to garner rich response from the market, given our unique proposition of a complete coating system. This has strengthened our position in the market, specifically in the institutional business. Our quest for continuous innovation in this range has led to the launch of the revolutionary Smart Care Hydrolock, an unmatched offering that provides best-in-class solutions to problems like dampness and efflorescence. The collaboration with STRT India Foundation continued to gain strength, pushing forward our goal of altering the urban landscapes while also making art accessible to everyone. In addition to building our brand image, these initiatives have brought the community together by bridging the cultural divide and instilling a sense of belonging. Our zeal to provide quality experience to our customers during the painting process has resulted in a rapid expansion of our safe painting service, which is now available in many towns across the country. This is now augmented by trusted contractor services, which has been a game changer in our engagement with contractors. Taking forward our endeavor to evolve from share of surface to share of space, we have expanded our beautiful home stores to 18 cities in India with 29 stores. This footprint enables us to provide decor under one roof to our customers, offering one-of-its-kind immersive consumer experience. Sleek by Asian Paints, our kitchens brand, has grown phenomenally well during the year, reporting a 55% revenue growth despite the disruptive market environment caused by the pandemic. Sleek today has a strong network of over 250 franchisee-owned showrooms that is winning consumer hearts through its unique kitchen solutions along with excellent servicing. Our bath fittings and sanitary ware business also registered high growth led by network and product expansion initiatives. we launched various bath fitting products under the Canvas and Bespoke brands, catering innovative and differentiated solutions to a wide spectrum of residential and institutional customers. Our alignment with Pure brand in the fabrics and furnishing space also made good inroads, strengthened by an expanded network of more than 600 retailers and enriched offerings. Our play in home decor is further accentuated through the strategic stake your company acquired in White Teak and Weatherseal, which are established names in decorative and designer lighting and UPVC windows and door space, respectively. Beautifulhomes.com, our digital property, is now one of the most inspiring and cutting-edge decor engines, attracting customers in large numbers and providing them inspiration for their dream homes. Beautiful Homes Service, our personalized design to execution service brand, led by a strong technical backbone with smooth project management, is also gaining significant traction since its launch last year and is now available in 11 cities across India. This omni-channel approach to connect with our customers will go a long way in realizing our vision of being a preferred partner in our customers' home decor journey. In the industrial coatings segment, the non-auto industrial coatings business delivered record revenues despite unprecedented raw material cost inflation throughout the year. Growth was driven by new customer wins, strong execution in key government projects, and emerging demand from export-focused sectors. The automotive industrial coating business faced demand challenges emanating from the automotive industry, but still managed to deliver strong growth. We continue to leverage our technological footprint towards creating innovative products and optimizing costs. Our pursuit of delivering a holistic value proposition to all our institutional customers is amplified with the industrial and decorative businesses working together in a cohesive manner as one team, thereby leveraging each other's strengths. For the international business, it was a tough year, as inflationary pressures impacted economic activity in many of the markets we operate in, denting the overall performance. Supply-side constraints, coupled with currency devaluations, kept margins under stress. Despite this, we undertook several initiatives driving growth of premium luxury products and launching and revamping the product portfolio, ensuring a comprehensive and quality offering to our customers. Various initiatives like the Safe Painting Service, Smart Care waterproofing, and bath fittings have revolutionized these markets and redefined our brand equity. On the sustainability front, the previous financial year has seen significant achievements in all the initiatives undertaken for community well-being, safety, mitigating climate change issues, waste management, and energy conservation. For every megaliter of water consumed in our manufacturing facilities, we were able to replenish close to 3 times the same back into the ecosystem. Our share of consumption of renewable energy increased to 61% during the year, demonstrating our resolve to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. As a responsible social citizen, we continue to invest in these areas, drawing inspiration from our charter promise of creating a beautiful world that is safe and sustainable. Being an industry leader, our consistent focus on environment, social, and governance aspect is reflected in our non-financial performance, which is intertwined with financial performance. We have therefore been able to report value creation and business sustainability in a true light. Our second year of integrated reporting depicts this with high standards of transparency. Our ESG strategy truly depicts our belief of ESG being an integral element for driving long-term sustainable growth for the business. In a rapidly evolving external environment, one thing that remained constant was growth across our businesses. At standalone level, your company has crossed the rupees 25,000 crore mark with 36.8% growth in revenue from sale of products and services. Despite the challenging situation posed by the unprecedented inflationary environment, the profit before exceptional items and tax increased by 3.9% to rupees 4,248 crores, and the profit after tax and exceptional items for the year increased by 2.7% to rupees 3,135 crores. At the consolidated level, the group achieved growth in revenue from sale of products and services of 34.6% at approximately rupees 29,000 crores. The consolidated profit before exceptional items and tax remained flat at rupees 4,303 crores for the financial year. The net profit after tax and non-controlling interest for the group was lower by 3.5% at rupees 3,031 crores, after considering the impact of exceptional items to the tune of rupees 116 crores due to the revised accounting treatment for recognition of state government incentives and the impact of currency devaluation in the Sri Lankan operations. Considering the financial performance for the year, the Board of Directors have further recommended payment of rupees 15.50 per equity share as the final dividend for the financial year 21-22. This is in addition to the interim dividend of rupees 3.65 per equity share of face value rupee 1 each, which was paid in the month of November 2021. If approved, the total dividend for the financial year 2021-22 will be rupees 19.15 per equity share against rupees 17.85 per equity share paid for the previous financial year. With this recommendation, dividend payout for the year will be at 58.6% as compared to 56.1% for the previous year. I would request all shareholders to approve the recommended final dividend for the financial year 2021-22. As we look ahead, uncertainties will continue to abound with ever-changing and dynamic macroeconomic, geopolitical, and environmental situations. Amidst these uncertainties would be opportunities. Opportunities to reinvent and reinvigorate our passion to fulfill the aspirations of our customers. I'm certain that Team Asian Paints would continue to harness these opportunities and will continue to deliver joy to all its stakeholders. I conclude by thanking all my colleagues on the board for their unflinching support. I also thank the Asian Paints team, our business partners, and the shareholders for their trust and encouragement that inspires us in our journey to achieve greater heights. Thank you. Moving on, the notice convening this AGM detailing the business as set out in item numbers 1 to 6 and the annual report containing the audited standalone and consolidated financial statements for the financial year ended 31st March 2022, along with the board's and auditor's report and the management discussion and analysis report, have already been circulated through the permitted mode to you, and with your kind permission, I take them as read. As there is no qualification in the auditor's report, it is not required to be read. Dear members, in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and the rules issued thereunder and Regulation 44 of SEBI's Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2015, the shareholders were provided with an opportunity to cast their vote through remote e-voting facility on the resolutions as set out in the notice convening this annual general meeting. The remote e-voting period commenced at 9 a.m. on Saturday, 25th June 2022, and the facility was available to the shareholders till 5 p.m. on Tuesday, 28th June 2022. Mr. Makaran Joshi, and failing him, Ms. Kumudini Bhalirao, partners at Makaran M. Joshi and Company, practicing company secretaries, have been appointed as the scrutinizer for scrutiny of the votes cast through the remote e-voting platform and e-voting during the AGM. The voting results will be declared within 2 working days from the conclusion of this meeting, along with the scrutinizer's report, will be available on the company's website and on the website of NSDL and the stock exchanges where the company's shares are listed. I would like to formally commence e-voting during the meeting for all those shareholders who have not cast their votes through the remote e-voting platform in respect of all the resolutions as set out in item numbers 1 to 6 of the notice convening this annual general meeting. The speaker shareholders may now ask questions pertaining to any item as set forth in the notice. Members are requested to keep their questions brief and specific. To avoid repetition, the answers to all the questions will be provided towards the end. Members may also note that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending upon the availability of time. I want to thank you all for your participation and for your constructive.
I would now invite Mrs. H.S. Patel. Mrs. H.S. Patel, you can please speak.
Mrs. H.S. Patel, requesting you to please unmute yourself and please ask your question.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Please speak.
Hello. What is this?
We can hear you,
Why
ma'am.
you are keeping such people to handle this AGM? When they, I told Sahil has taken so much trouble. Sahil, see,
We can
my
hear
voice
you,
is
ma'am.
echoing.
Please ask your question.
I cannot ask question in this echoing voice. I cannot make any speech.
Ma'am, you have 2
Keep my name
devices
later
on,
on
ma'am.
now. This is of no use. I told Sahil has taken so much trouble.
Ma'am, you have 2
You are like
devices
taking
on.
money from the company and not doing any proper service.
Ma'am, you have
This
2
is the way you
devices
do
on.
treat
You
the
have
shareholders.
Zoom on and you
Once
have
in a year we are doing
telecalling
the
on as
meeting.
well. I request you to please switch off one device and please ask question from any of the 1 devices, either through Zoom or from telecalling. Thank you. You may please ask your question now.
But I'm not able to hear.
We can hear you, ma'am. Can you hear me clearly?
You can hear, but I also should hear now.
I am.
This trial you should have taken today 5 minutes before the meeting starts now.
Ma'am, we can hear you.
You must
Request you to
be
please ask
taking
your
the check from
question.
the company, and this is the service you are doing to the shareholders and to the company. Once in a year AGM is there. How much trouble you are giving to Sahil, you know, how much trouble he is taking.
If you can
morning,
hear me
this voice
clearly, ma'am,
doing
please
so
request
much.
you to...
No person, no employee will do so much hard work.
Chandra, just Mrs. Patel, you are able to hear me. This is Jay Murugan.
Dani Sahib and Choksi Sahib, આ બરાબર રીત નથી. નહીં તો આવાઓને આપવાનું જ નહીં હેન્ડલ કરવા.
Okay.
Ma'am, if you can hear us, you can just speak.
સાઉથ ઇન્ડિયનોને આપીને એ રીતે ત્રાસ આપે છે આપુને. South Indian, no, apine. One in a year we are doing to the shareholders and to the company. Once in a year AGM is there. How much trouble you are giving to Sahil, you know, how much trouble he is taking.
If you can hear me
ઇન્સલ્ટ કરે છે અમારું.
Madam,
I can't understand whether you are able to hear me or not. That also I don't know because I'm not able to hear your voice.
Okay.
This is happening.
Chanda, can you? Okay.
Murugan,
Okay.
this is not the way to. I told you that take my test 5 minutes before. If you wanted me to be a first speaker.
Ma'am, we are able to
No,
hear
you are
you.
not doing any service. You have never given even only when AGM comes, you are ringing us. So you are ringing the shareholders only at AGM time. This is the way your company secretary influential work you are doing for the shareholders. You are a link between the management and the shareholders. What good treatment are you giving to the shareholders? Poor Sahil, he is loitering from one end to the another, jumping, running here and there, running here and there. I feel.
Okay. I now invite Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta. Mr. Manoj Kumar. Yes, you can speak. You can speak.
Good morning, respected Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow shareholders. My name is Manoj Kumar Gupta. I have joined this meeting from my residence, Kolkata. First of all, I warm welcome our new Chairman with the hope that he will take the company in new heights under his leadership with the team of management. And I thanks to the MD for the excellent result and excellent dividend for the year 21-22 in despite of several challenges and difficult within the world and the near our country. And I thanks to your company secretary and his team that who has helped us to join this meeting through VC. Especially thanks to Sahil and Swati Rampuria that who always keeps in touch with us to help us to join this meeting. And I always believe that such type of peoples and young generation should be in the corporate houses, that those can help the small investors in any problem, in any grievances or any issues. Those they in such type of manner they have shown to us. Dividend, I have already said good dividend. CSR, you are doing a lot of work for the community and society. I have nothing to say more. So last year I have asked the chairman, those going to retire but is still in our board, I have asked that on the eve of 75th year, 75th will not come again in the history of a company and the shareholders, that to offer some maximum discount coupon or a memento to the investors, and you can offer some discounts to the shareholders to buy Asian Paints products at the festival time. And sir, what's your future outlook? How you will face the competition in the country from the Berger not takes in the name of a big challenge from the Berger and the ExxonMobil, and now the big challenge is given by the JSW. JSW is a cash flow, so they are also launching some pants. So how you will face such type of challenge? And sir, is there any impact will come direct or indirect from the Russia-Ukraine war on our company, because the prices has gone up several items due to this war, and some things are crisis in the Asian countries? And how your business of kitchen wear and fitting business are going on, and how you face a future outlook for this business? There is also tough competition in this business in the country from existing houses like as Hindware and other. Hindware is a renowned popular house in the country, and home services also. So sir, nothing to say more. We hope that you will reward to the shareholders as soon as possible by the way of bonus, because bonus is overdue. So kindly consider and convey our best wishes to our new chairman and MD. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta. Next speaker, Mrs. Smita Bharat.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, we are able to hear you. You can speak, please.
सर आवाज आ रही है ना मेरी बराबर?
Yes, yes. It's
okay. Thank you, sir. माननीय चेयरमैन सर श्री दीपक जी सरवालेकर जी और श्री वाइस चेयरमैन श्री मनीष जी, एमडी सीईओ श्री अमित जी सहगल जी, श्री अश्विन भाई और अन्य मान्यवर डायरेक्टर्स। सर मैं बंबई से स्मिता शाह बात कर रही हूँ। सर पहले तो मैं दुख के साथ मैं बात करना चाहूंगी कि हमारे ऑल डायरेक्टर श्री अपने अभय जी वकील, उनका जो 2 नवंबर 2021 में जो देहांत हुआ जानकर बहुत दुख हुआ। सो मैं उन्हें हृदय पूर्वक में श्रद्धांजलि देती हूँ। और भले ही आज हमारे बीच में वो नहीं रहे, बट उनकी याद हमारे साथ सदा ही रहेगी, क्योंकि उन्होंने बहुत बहुत हार्ड वर्क किया था। सो उनकी आत्मा जहाँ भी हो, ईश्वर उन्हें चिर शांति दे, ये प्रभु प्रार्थना। सर, एक बाजू गम है, सो दूसरी बाजू खुशी भी है। सो मैं पहले तो हमारे बोर्ड पर नए आए हुए चेयरमैन श्री दीपक भाई, आपका मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ। साथ में न्यू इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर श्री मिलिंद जी और मिस नेहल जी का भी नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर, सो मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ सर। और सर, बाकी तो मैं कहूँ कि कैसे भी हो, एशियन बोर्ड पर जो भी टीम है हमेशा मेहनत और हार्ड वर्क के लिए तत्पर रहती है। आपने कभी भी कैसी भी परिस्थितियों में हिम्मत न हारकर कंपनी को हमेशा एक्सीलेंट वर्क के साथ आज आगे बढ़ाई और पूरे वर्ल्ड में अपना नाम कमाया है। शेयर होल्डरों को भी हमेशा रिस्पेक्ट किया है, समय समय पर डिविडेंड देते आए हो। अभी भी 10 साल के कंपेयर में देखे तो रेवेन्यू फ्रॉम ऑपरेशन, प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स, अर्निंग पर शेयर, बुक वैल्यू, डिविडेंड सभी में बढ़ोतरी है। और सर, वैसे ही एम्प्लॉइज और शेयर होल्डर की संख्या भी अच्छी खासी बढ़ गई है। बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। और डिविडेंड अच्छा खासा जो आपने दिया, शेयर होल्डर का ध्यान रखा, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर। सर, ये सभी आपकी पूरे बोर्ड टीम की मेहनत और हार्डवर्क, सभी एम्प्लॉइज वर्कर्स की भी हार्डवर्क के साथ और कंपनी के प्रति आपकी जो लगन जो है, सो एक्सेलेंट रिजल्ट आज मिल रहा है। वैसे ही दीपक भाई, आप भी बहुत स्मार्ट और हैंडसम लग रहे हो, बहुत हार्ड वर्क करो सर। सो मेरी दिल की शुभभावना के साथ दीपक भाई, आपको दिल से शुभकामनाएं करती हूँ कि आपकी लीडरशिप में कंपनी दिन प्रतिदिन चौगुनी तरक्की करके एक्सेलेंट वर्क के साथ फ्यूचर्स में भी आगे बढ़े और मार्केट में हमेशा अव्वल में रहे और पूरे वर्ल्ड में अपना नाम रोशन रखे, यही मेरी शुभकामना है। सो ईश्वर से भी मेरी प्रार्थना है कि ईश्वर आपकी हेल्थ वेल्थ सदा अच्छी बनाए रखे। साथ में अश्विन भाई, मनीष भाई और आप सभी एक से बढ़कर एक जो मेहनती हार्डवर्क, उन सभी की हेल्थ वेल्थ हमेशा अच्छी बनाए रखे, यही शुभकामना के साथ मैं हम भी आपके साथ रहे। सो आज भी हम आपके साथ है और आज के सभी रिजोल्यूशन में मैं फुल्ली सपोर्ट करती हूँ। और सर, हम ये भी ना कहना भूले कि सर, आपकी सीएस टीम बहुत हेल्पफुल और मेहनती और हार्डवर्क है। जय मुरुगन जी को मैं हार्दिक धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन करती हूँ। उनकी टीम से सालों से जुड़ी मिस सलोनी, ऑलवेज स्माइलिश, गुड नेचर, गुड रिस्पॉन्सिबल, उनके साथ साहिल, वंदिता, बहुत ही हार्ड वर्कर और मेहनती बच्चे हैं। हमें सतत फोन करके पूछते हैं आपको लिंक मिली कि नहीं, आपको कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं है, समय पर ज्वाइन कर लेना। सर, रियली बहुत हार्ड वर्कर करते साहिल, वंदिता, सभी बच्चों को मैं हार्टली धन्यवाद और मैं अभिनंदन करती हूँ। बहुत बहुत आगे बढ़े, रियली बहुत हेल्पफुल नेचर के बच्चे हैं मिस सलोनी, साहिल और वंदिता। सो मुरुगन जी, आपकी पूरी सीएस टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और अभिनंदन। बाकी तो सर, आशा रखती हूँ कि नेक्स्ट ईयर की एजीएम में हम फिजिकली मिले और ईश्वर बस हमें सभी को बहुत अच्छे हेल्थ वेल्थ के साथ हम नेक्स्ट ईयर जरूर एजीएम में फिजिकल मिले, यही प्रार्थना के साथ, फुल सपोर्ट के साथ। धन्यवाद सर, चालू रखिए, भरत साहब बात कर रहे हैं सर। थैंक यू सर।
Yeah, now I invite Mr. Bharat Shah to speak. Next speaker.
माननीय चेयरमैन श्री सर, आवाज आ रही है ना?
आवाज आ रहा है सर। यस सर।
माननीय चेयरमैन श्री दीपक भाई, श्री अश्विन भाई और अन्य मान्यवर डायरेक्टर, सर मेरा नाम भरत शाह है। मैं अश्विन भाई दानी जी को भी शुभेच्छा देता हूं और रिगार्ड्स देता हूं। उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी सेवा चेयरमैन से अपना सीट पर की है, तो मैं बहुत रिगार्ड देता हूं। और जय श्री कृष्ण अश्विन भाई। और सर, पहले मैं दीपक भाई चेयरमैन श्री को आज पहली एजीएम में उनका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं। सर, मैं फूलों का गुच्छों से, हारों से उनका स्वागत करना चाहता था, लेकिन एजीएम बीसी माध्यम से तो हृदयपूर्वक उनका हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं सर। और सर, नए डायरेक्टर नेहल बेन वकील और मिलिंद भाई सरवते का भी हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं सर बोर्ड ऊपर। और सर, मैं अपने डायरेक्टर श्री अभय भाई वकील जो 2 नवंबर को एक्सपायर्ड हुए, उनको हृदयपूर्वक श्रद्धांजलि देता हूं सर। और सर बहुत अच्छे आदमी थे सर, हमेशा शेयर होल्डर को रिस्पेक्ट देता है, उनकी याद सदा आएगी सर, तो उनको मैं हृदयपूर्वक श्रद्धांजलि देता हूँ सर। बाकी सर मेरी कोई क्वेरी नहीं है, मैं बरसों से कंपनी का शेयर होल्डर रहा हूँ, बरसों से एजीएम अटेंड करता हूँ सर। न्यूट्रली व्यवस्थित आपने कंपनी चलाई है, दिन प्रतिदिन बहुत आगे बढ़ रही है अपनी कंपनी, सब बातों में व्यवस्थित बढ़ोती है सर। सर हमेशा आपने शेयर होल्डर को रिस्पेक्ट दिया है, शेयर होल्डर को हित को ख्याल रखा है, अच्छा गुड रिटर्न दिया है सर, टाइम पर बहुत अच्छा छप्पर फाड़ के डिविडेंड देते आ रहे हो सर, टाइम पर बोनस दिया है सर। तो सर बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर, अभिनंदन करता हूँ। और सर भगवान गॉड को प्रार्थना है अपनी कंपनी बहुत बहुत आगे बढ़े सर। सर सारे अवार्ड्स के लिए भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अभिनंदन देता हूँ सर। और सर सीएसआर एक्टिविटी भी बहुत अच्छी व्यवस्थित चल रही है, एक मानवता का कार्य है, उसके लिए भी मैं बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन देता हूँ, धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। और सर कंपनी सेक्रेटरी श्री आरजे जय मुरुगन जी और उनकी टीम के सलोनी जी, साहिल जी, जय, वंदिता, पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। हार्ड वर्किंग जय मुरुगन जी और उनकी पूरी हार्ड वर्किंग टीम को धन्यवाद देता हूँ, अभिनंदन देता हूँ सर। हमेशा सर शेयर होल्डर हमेशा शेयर होल्डर को रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं, कोई क्वेरी है तो सोल्व करते हैं सर। ये गुड इन्वेस्टर सर्विस दे रहे हैं सर, बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग टीम है जय मुरुगन की और सलोनी, साहिल, जय, वंदिता, मैं उनको पूरा मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर। ये वीसी माध्यम से जुड़ने में भी बहुत हेल्प की है, पूरी टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, बहुत अभिनंदन देता हूँ सर। और सर नेक्स्ट ईयर फेस टू फेस जरूर मिले, आपको रूबरू में मिलने का भी मन कर रहा है, 3 साल से अपन नहीं मिले, तो नेक्स्ट ईयर हो सके तो जरूर हॉल में मीटिंग रखना पहले की तरह, तो एक आत्मीयता का बढ़ा हुआ है, अपन साथ में मिलेंगे सर। और आने वाले गणेश चतुर्थी, पर्युषण, अपने दशहरा, दीपावली त्योहारों की मैं हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं देता हूं और भगवान को प्रार्थना है अपनी कंपनी बहुत बहुत आगे बढ़े सर। और सारे रिजोल्यूशन में मेरा पूरा सपोर्ट है सर। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू सर, जय हिंद सर, जय हिंद, जय श्री कृष्ण सर, थैंक यू सर, जय श्री कृष्ण।
Thanks, Mr. Bharat Shah, for your wishes. Thanks. Next speaker, Mr. Sarat Kumar Jivraj Shah.
Hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you. Yes, sir. Please
And
speak.
can you see me, sir?
Yes, we are able to see you clearly.
First thing, sir, regarding your secretarial department, I am very happy with the secretarial department. Not only this year, for last so many years. So there is absolutely no problem. And whatever they asked me to send I have sent the mail, and the Sahil has all replies to my mail. So it looks like that I did not ask same questions again in the meeting. What I will ask you is, sir, your balance sheet says that dividend payout ratio is 58.6. So it is definitely good. It is better than Tati, which is only 15%. But what I am like to tell you this, sir, still I am not happy. And another thing, one thing where I am very happy with you is last 20 years, the company's net worth is increased by 150%. It is advantage to shareholders and the promoter also. But my other observation is such is that I always look at the market price, and the market price and the dividend is it has got relation. Say if I go to Infosys, price is 1400, dividend is 31, Colgate price is 1500, dividend is 40 rupees, HDFC price is 2200, dividend is 30 rupees, HUL price is 2300, the dividend is 34 rupees, and in our case the price is 2600, dividend is 119. So there is no question, it doesn't come in the way that what is the dividend pay ratio. What I am looking, what is my return as a shareholder on the market price. So what I'm looking here, sir, definitely you can increase the dividend and you don't have to worry because your performance, everything is good. And whenever you require money, because all these companies, their dividend payout ratio is very close to the earning per share and they don't keep any money. But if they require money further, in case their price is high also in the market and their reputation use them that they can collect money from the shareholders on the basis of right issue. So what I'm looking here, don't limit your dividend payout ratio to 58.6 only, but please increase it to higher like HUL, Colgate, HDFC. That will be much better. Another thing, sir, what is my observation? First thing, what I wanted to, I refer my chairman's speech. He was talking about different products, and the products are definitely required for leakage. And what is principle of leakage is that you have to feed a material in the open area or where the leakage comes, and that capacity of that material should be higher expanding capacity. And the RDX is the only material in the market which has got high explosion capacity. It may be expansion and explosion capacity. So I would like to know what is our product. Is it how much time it expands? Whether any products we have got which expand 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, so that with small quantity of material I can stop leakage. Another thing, sir, I want to like to know that whether company has capability of doing reverse gravity process, reverse pressure gravity process. That because which is very important. And another thing is problem is now the competition is increasing, sir, to us. The JSW Steel is in the now again in the business, and Grasim is also now coming into the paint business. And another thing, I think you have referred this, the prices of raw material are going up. So both these things, how you will face or how you will tackle, that is my main question. And rest of the questions already Sahil has replied, so that I'm not repeating again. But look into the dividend amount, because I'm a long shareholder for a long time. And basically now the 10% goes into dividend tax. Till 20 years, I never paid any tax, but now last 2 years, I have to pay very heavily. And I don't have any complaint on that, but I require a heavy dividend also from all companies. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. And another thing, last, I'm really happy with your company secretary, because 2 years back, my check of 24,000 was stuck up. Before meeting, he has sent that check. So I'm very happy with all your company secretary department, and particularly now I'm very happy. One thing is Saloni made as a deputy secretary, which I was knowing her for last 4-5 years or even 10 years. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, shareholder, Mr. Kirti Jayantilal Shah.
Chairman sir.
Yes, sir. We are able to hear you.
Chairman sir, good morning sir.
Good morning.
चेयरमैन सर, आपने जो आपका सेक्रेटरी टीम बनाया है वो बहुत ही अच्छा है, उसने काफी कोऑपरेट किया हुआ है, हर टाइम लास्ट ईयर भी किया था, ऐसा मैं एग्जांपल काफी मीटिंगों में दे रहा हूँ। अभी एक इन्फोसिस का मीटिंग था, उसमें इतना बड़ा वो गड़बड़ हुआ था, इतना बड़ा कोऑपरेटिव अपना जो ये सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट और मॉडरेटर का इतना बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हुआ था, ऑल ओवर इंडिया का सब शेयर होल्डर ने उसको काफी ये तरह से उसका ये किया था कि भाई ऐसा आप मॉडरेटर मत रखा करो, ऐसा सेक्रेटरी टीम मत रखा करो। एशियन पेंट की तरह आप सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट का एक ग्रुप बना के सही तरह से कीजिए। ये इंडिया की पहली कंपनी है एशियन पेंट के जैसा सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ग्रुप बना के सही तरह से शेयर होल्डर को स्पीकर नंबर और सब सारी डिटेलें देता है। चेयरमैन सर, मैंने आपको एक लंबा चौड़ा ईमेल किया था, आपका सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ने मेजोरिटी सारे सब आंसर दिए हुए हैं, अराउंड 90% आंसर मेरे को मिल चुके हैं और बाकी का वो 10% भेज देंगे। विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट, थैंक यू वेरी मच, आई हैव नो क्वेश्चन।
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, shareholder, Mr. Dinesh Kotecha.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You can speak, please.
Good morning, because there's still 9 minutes yet for afternoon to begin. Deepak Shelwalkar, Ashwin Dani ji, other board of directors, and all the other shareholders on the meeting. Sir, we have got an integrated annual report for the second year now this year. Good. And you continue so, sir, because this integrated annual report gives us the extra information which we want from an international accounting standard level, sir. So we are an Indian multinational. I've always considered Asian Paint as an Indian multinational. And page number 7 stamps it firmly that we are an Indian multinational in terms of stature, scale, reach, people, performance, everything. Now, secondly, sir, my small, not a complaint, but a suggestion was that you could have had a physical meeting in a orderly and disciplined manner. As it is, we have got more than thousands of shareholders, but in the meeting, hardly 200, 300, 400 people attend. Out of that, hardly 10 or 15 people speak. So you could have allowed us a chance, sir, to hold a physical meeting. We saw the IPL where 50,000, 60,000, 1 lakh people were crowding the stadium without mask. And if those could be held, why the physical AGM was avoided? I mean, you could have held, gone against the SEBI rules, sir, and we could have established that, no, we put the SEBI rules in the basket and we will hold a physical meeting. Yesterday, there were 3 physical meetings in India, sir. 3 physical AGMs were there in India. And I also told yesterday also in some of the meetings that physical meeting should be held. Sir, your secretarial staff, Vandita, Swati, Sahil, Saloni, I mean, everybody has thanked them. I also joined them. I second them because of their care and concern for the minority shareholders, sir. So, page number 14 and 15, I will be very specific to the questions. We have got 4 businesses: paints, 85% of turnover; international business, 10% of turnover; kitchen and bath business, 2.6%; and in industrial business, 2.5%. Now, what I find is, sir, that in the kitchen and the bath business, with Sleek and SS being our brands which we have acquired, there are so many established players already working in this industry before us, and we are new entrants. So we are new incumbents and we are new entrants, so we have to face a lot of competition. And I would like you to explain to me how this business will grow from 761 crores, which is there as on today. I mean, it should increase, and how is the volume game and the value game being played? What different products are we making? The Hind where sector, Somanis are #1 leaders there. I mean, so many other leaders are there, and we are competing. We are putting our nose in some business which is already competitive, sir. So how are we going to gain an edge there? Secondly, in paints business, we are established with tremendous goodwill and recall value by the customers. But here, sir, new competition is emerging from basically, big corporate houses with deep pockets. And so many of them have already launched their paint products or are being launched, in the process of launching. We were already 5 big industrial paint companies in India. 5 companies were there in India. Now, 2 more big companies and 3 small companies, SMEs, are coming up in competition. Now, I would like to know your views. How you are going to face them and win them to maintain, or if not increase, our market share with still better margins of EBITDA level, PAT level, and PBT level and PAT level. Please explain in detail. Sir, page number 29. In page number 29, I find one very interesting thing, sir. All key ratios are good and improved compared to last year, both on standalone and console basis, sir. So can our margin, operating margin has gone from 17.8 to 20%, net margin from 10.6 to 12.4. But our EBITDA margin has come down to 20% from 26.2. And our ROC is also down to 33.5 compared to 37%. This is the average of the last 4 years, I'm saying. Now, what plans are there, to get this market share? I mean, this operating margin being about 25%, or improvement by at least 200 basis point on each percentage level, sir. What is the planning there? All your other reports like social responsibility report, ECR, BPR, everything is nice. Sir, next question is, what are the learnings from the pandemic, or the feedbacks or the suggestions from the pandemic which you have received as a company to make the company more resilient and work towards still better results? Sir, any other major challenges to be overcome externally, internally, other than competition? What are the weaknesses that have been identified by the internal auditor and your internal staff which needs to be rectified? Dividend, people have said. Now, one small suggestion, sir. Our equity is very high. I mean, we have already got a face value of 1 rupee. You don't want to give us bonus right now, I know. So you can do one thing, sir. Give us redeemable preference shares by way of bonus shares which can be separately listed on the stock exchange. So we need not be forced to sell our shares in case of requirement of our education of our children or sickness or medical attention. We can sell our preference shares and keep the equity shares intact with us. So think about it, sir. Redeemable preference shares, which can be redeemed after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Every year we should get some redemption plus interest for the 5 years and then interest for the balance part. This is the idea which I'm giving you because, you know, this is the way to reward the shareholders, sir. We can remain faithful to you only when we get something. If you don't reward us in any other way other than dividends, then we may switch our interest to some other companies also. Sir, evaluate and rationalize the existence and working of the subsidiaries in wake of the geopolitical risks, sir. So don't be complacent with past achievements. Be prepared to face the future which is full of uncertainties. What is the scenario planning now? Look at what would happen if everything went wrong or something substantial went wrong. How do we first pay for it, and how do we mitigate the risk of that scenario planning? So for the capex planned incurred for the current year and next year, how many years the tangible benefits will not be produced by that capex? That means the capex will start producing profits from which year? Direct question. Sir, how many non-value adding activities have been identified and stopped in the company? Now, I know that you are progressively, giving good results. But sir, one small information I want in the balance sheet. That is the list of top 10 public shareholders. Also, I want you to give a chart on the very first page of the quarterly results. Quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Now, this is the sign of an integrated annual report. And this is a good sign which internationally people are following. And we should also follow that international norms of reporting in the balance sheet. Thank you very much and wish you all the best. I'm expecting answers for all my questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dinesh Kotecha. Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Aravind Vaikar.
Arvind Vaikar here from Ahmedabad.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I must congratulate the chairman, board of directors, the top management, and all the employees and the shareholders of the Asian Paint for showing an excellent performance despite of pandemic situation and the adverse conditions. I have been investing in the leading companies in the industries like Asian Paint since 2014. Me and my family put together, I have more than 1,500 shares of Asian Paints, the current value of which is around 40 lakhs rupees. I am really extremely happy with the performance of the company, and I feel that this is the company, it's a dream company for me. In my portfolio, Asian Paint is a dream company where things are doing very well. I only listened last year, these are my views I am expressing. But the performance of financial year 22 has been slightly disappointing in terms of profit after tax growth. YOY was only 2.7%. This growth is low, as you have already mentioned, the chairman has mentioned in the chairman's speech, that is lower by about 3.5%. I wanted to know the reasons for that, and what do you expect in this financial year 23 that you will achieve the real good growth in profit. My second question is basically on competition. Asian Paint has maintained the leadership position throughout, and I'm very happy about it. And I believe in investing in the companies which maintain the leadership position. But to me, it appears that the situation may be a little tough or difficult as new entrants like Grashim Industry, JSW are entering in the field of in the paints. And I'm just wondering that whether we will be in a position to maintain our leadership position first. Second thing, do you think that we will also have the major market share? Currently, we are holding the highest market share in the paint industry. Do you think that we will be in a position to maintain our market share or increase our market share in the current scenario or in the future when the new entrants will be trying to grab the market share? Okay, with this, I would like to thank the entire management, the secretarial department, for giving me an opportunity for expressing my views, and also, asking you the question related to the performance of the company. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Manish Chabria.
Good afternoon, Board of Directors and my dear shareholders. I would, last time also I have mentioned about the bonus issue of the Asian Paints at the appropriate time. Kindly consider it. And second question would be to consider the discount coupon for existing shareholders for our products. Thank you.
Thank you. Next shareholder speaker, Mr. Abhishek Kalra.
Can you hear me, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, Abhishek, we are able to hear you.
Sir, my name is Abhishek, shareholder of the company. My DB ID IN 301-637 and client ID is 41359155. Sir, first of all, I congratulate the management on the eve of 76th annual general body meeting. So trust all is well with you and your family. In this challenging situation, our company deserves much more respect than the current market cap after completing more than a decade of successful operations, profitability, dividend history, and becoming one of the strongest brand in our respective segment. So I would like to know how our business was being impacted in these past 3 years of this COVID time. The coronavirus and the subsequent lockdowns have left virtually no industry untouched after the COVID. So whether any employees have been sacked, higher salary cut in percentage, if any, I would like to know from you, sir. Whether any salary cut was being taken by the management during the pandemic time, I would like to know from you, sir. And shareholders are very eagerly waiting for a bonus issue from the management, but unfortunately, we are not able to get any kind of bonus from the management, sir. And there are most of the shareholders, sir, across my friends and my family members who have registered through the virtual platform in the AGM on the prescribed time. There was a registration in the NSDL portal that shareholder registration has to be done along with the e-voting. That also the shareholders have done. Subsequently, there was a restriction that advanced registration has to be done. So 7 days before the email also was being sent for speaker registration. Subsequently, there was a deadline on 27th that the questions have to be sent before 5 p.m. And even that was being sent by the shareholders. So shareholders have done so much of exercise. So is it not a courtesy for the management to give them an opportunity to participate and seek clarification, because this annual general body meeting is being conducted only once in 365 days, and for 365 days you run the management, you run the show. It is a fundamental right of the shareholder to ask questions on this particular day. It is a once a day for shareholders, and that too you have restricted the number of shareholders and you do not allow most of the investor fraternity to participate and seek clarification in this annual general body meeting, which is really very ridiculous part on the management. So the management should have taken a call and should have restricted time limit, but should have given opportunity to each and every shareholder so that everybody can get an opportunity to seek clarify. And by seeking their questions, the management can empower in the years to come. And sir, regarding the physical share issue, I have already pointed out. So I need not repeat the same issue. You are very well aware about the facts. I have given a detailed email. I have very clearly stated that as per today, I should be holding around 5,500 shares. The company has already settled 3,000 shares and 2,500 shares after dispute. The management claims that 100 shares have been sold by my grandmother in the year 1999. But whereas we are a passive investor, we don't have the habit of selling any kind of shares.
Sir,
As
to
far as
please
physical shares
restrict your question to the annual report.
I'm limiting to my time limit.
I sincerely
understand the
request
time
you to please restrict your questions to the annual report for this annual general body meeting. Thank you.
Yes, madam, but you are not replying to my emails, no? So that is the reason I have to raise in the AGM. I am not left with no other options. Even if it is a physical AGM, I am ready to come to Mumbai and ask queries, because since it is a BC AGM, I am forced to ask through BC. If it is a physical AGM, entire family members can come down to Mumbai and seek our clarification. I have requested that that is a mistake. The management has taken pain even during the corona time, during the pandemic time. The management said that the papers are lying in the Bandup industrial area, some godown it is lying, and you have taken the scanned copies of the SH transfer applications which are being sent, in which it shows that the shares are being sold to New India students. Since you have shared the transfer application from your authenticated email ID to my authenticated email ID, which very clearly says that there is an override.
We need to restrict our questions to the annual report, and we will now move on to the next shareholder. Thank you.
Yeah, moving on to the next speaker shareholder, Mr. Aspi Besnia.
Sir, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, sir. We are able to see you and hear you also.
Sir, your voice is very low.
Please proceed, sir. We are able to hear you.
Okay, now I can hear you. Sir, I welcome Mr. Milind Sarvate. He's a nice person. We know him for many, many years. And I also welcome Ms. Nehal Vakil. So, annual profit has been maintained on higher sales. That means margin is squeezed. So, do you expect the lower margin to continue, or can we go back to the old margin? So, nowadays, in the name of value engineering, your paint quality, I think, is deteriorating. Because earlier we used to paint once in 15, 20 years. Now we have to paint every 5 years. So please, in the name of value engineering, don't make paints like what China makes. China makes anything which is made by China is like चला तो चांद तक नहीं तो रात तक ऐसा होता है. So please ensure you maintain the standards like Germany or this Japan. So if you have surplus cash, please do not increase the dividend. Please go for a buyback which is tax efficient, even from the promoter's angle. So thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite next speaker shareholder, Ms. Geeta Rashmi.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Directors and Independent Directors and the entire technical staff. I'm Geeta Rashmi and I'm a shareholder of Asian Paints from more than 5 years. I'm happy with the company's growth and exploring the new opportunities in newer segments like kitchen and bathroom fittings. Welcome on board Mr. Deepak Satwalekar, sir, as a newly appointed director, sir. So here are my questions. So with Grasson's entry into the paint sector, how do you project the growth and roadmap for Asian Paints? Will this provide a competition to Asian Paints' success story? The second question is, for the long-term investors who have immense belief in your company and holding on your stocks for many, many years, why don't you provide extra incentives in terms of discount coupons? So many other companies like Bata, Hawkins, they do provide discount coupons. So why don't Asian Paints supply this? So this might actually help in companies' marketing strategy. Third question is, any news on the bonus? So last bonus that the company had given to the shareholders is in 2003. So it's been like, it'll be around 20 years next year. So any news on the bonus? So these were my queries, and I appreciate the entire technical staff, especially Vandita and Sahil. So they were behind me from the last couple of days in educating me how to attend online Zoom meetings and conducting demos. So thanks, I appreciate the entire team, and thank you so much. Wish the entire team, which is like management team, the Asian team employees and fellow shareholders, a very good health, happiness and prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Yusuf Rangwala.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Can you hear my voice, sir? Perfect.
Yes,
Can
sir.
I go?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I am speaking from city of Mumbai. Sir, I am very happy with the annual report of 378 page, especially to Sahil, sir. Sir, उनको सर धन्यवाद सर, आपको सर नेशनल से मेरा सर प्रणाम सर. आपका नाम ही सर दीपक है. जो कंपनी में दीपक होता है वो चमकते रहता है सर. दीपक मतलब चांदनी सर. दीपक मतलब दीप की चांदनी सर. जैसे आपकी सर हस्ती है सर. आपका बैलेंस शीट में सर आपका फोटो इतना स्माइलिंग सर. मुझे लगता है 76 ईयर्स है. नेक्स्ट ईयर आपने सर बोनस नहीं दिया. आपका सर चेहरा इतना हंसता हुआ देख मुझे लग रहा है ये तो बोनस 1 पे नहीं 1:2 दे रही आप मुझे लग रहा है सर. और अपने पास रिजो भी अच्छे डायरेक्ट पॉइंट पे आ रहा हो. प्रॉफिट 31.31 करोड़. अब फाइनेंशियल ईयर 25,021 crore. Total dividend 58.66. And nine, sir, we are the 9th largest pen company and 3rd largest pen in Asia. And sir, one more thing, sir. We are having sir अपना अश्विन सर, उनका चेहरा सर देखते बैलेंस शीट में और उनकी हंसी सर, वो भले अपने बोर्ड पे नहीं है लेकिन उनकी गाइडेंस और उनकी हंसी, उनकी सर हार्ड वर्किंग अपने साथ में है. और उनके सन जो अपने 2 डायनेमिक अपने साथ में है सर. यहाँ पे 2 आप पे कोई इसको हटा नहीं सकता है
सर मैं मैडम प्रीवियस मैडम को भी मैं ज्वाइन करता हूँ. If you give a discount on a pen, सर हमारे घर में हम आपका ही पेन यूज करते हैं पेन. अगर if you give a 20% 30% discount on purchase, so that will be help. Sir, you can send a discount code that we can use anywhere, sir. This is my humble request, sir. Sir, अपना we are a number 1 at present, sir, in pen. Sir, अपना pens में और अपना गुडरेक नेरोलेक उसके ये सब पीछे सर गुडरेक नंबर 2 वी आर नंबर 1 सर. टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टाफ कितने हैं अपने पास सर? और अपना सलो अपना साहिल सर, अपना वंदिता मैडम और पूरी टीम जो अपने सर बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग, उनका इतनी बार फोन है सर, मैं इतना बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ सर उनकी सर्विस के लिए सर. वी आर हैविंग ए वेरी एक्सीलेंट सर सर्विस सर. सर फ्रंट पेज पे आपने लिखा है ब्रिंगिंग द जॉयज ऑफ द पीपल लिव सर. दैट इज ए वेरी एक्सीलेंट सर ऑन द फ्रंट पेज. ये मुझे देख के सर मुझे इतना खुशी हुआ और सर मैं इतना सर खुश हुआ, मेरे पास कोई शब्द नहीं है सर. शेयर पेश करना चाहता हूँ. इस बैलेंस शीट को देख के मेरा दिल इतना खुश हुआ सर. ऐसी बैलेंस शीट मैंने आज तक नहीं देखी. गुडरेक नेरोलो की भी बैलेंस शीट थी, लेकिन अपनी बैलेंस शीट तो सर वाह वाह है सर, बल्ले बल्ले है सर. इस बैलेंस शीट के बारे में मेरे पास कोई शब्द नहीं है सर. धन्यवाद. मैं गॉड ब्लेस अवर कंपनी और दीपक सर मेरा फुल सपोर्ट है. और सब आने वाले सर आप दीपक सर आपका नाम ही दीपक है. जो कंपनी में दीपक सर जैसे चेयरमैन रहते हैं वहां पे सर हमें पीछे देखने की जरूरत नहीं है सर. ये 75 ईयर्स सर उसका सेलिब्रेशन बाकी है सर. हो सके तो आपका सांता क्रूज में छोटा गेट टुगेदर रखिए दिवाली के बाद. मेरा हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट है सर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. मैं गॉड ब्लेस अवर कंपनी सर. दिवाली, दशहरा, रक्षाबंधन सबकी बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ एज ए स्मॉल ब्रदर सर. आपको सर बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ सर. जय हिंद, जय माता, वंदे मातरम, भारत माता की जय. जय गुजरात सर.
Thanks. Yeah. Mr. Asit Kumar Pathak.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes. Very good afternoon, respected Chairman, Vice Chairman, MD and CEO, Board of Directors, Company Secretary, fellow members joining at 76th AGM of Asian Paints Limited. My name is Asit Kumar Pathak from Damdam, Kolkata. At first, my esteemed gratitude to Company Secretary, CFO and Company Secretary, Mr. R. Jayamuragan, and the Secretarial Department, Deputy Company Secretary, Mr. Saloni Fundis, for sending me the notice of the AGM and hard copy of annual report very well in advance and allow me to speak. Also, thanks to Investor Relations for nicely conducted speaker side verification, especially Mr. Shahil Makkar and Swati Rampuria. My homage to respected Mr. Abhay Vakil, non-executive promoter director of my company, and respected Mr. Amar Vakil, non-executive promoter director, for sudden demise. I pray to God for their soul remain in rest in peace. I always respect their enhanced contributions to my company to be number 1 paint company in India and 3rd largest paint company in Asia and 9th largest paint company globally. Sir, I think we have to maintain 1 minute silence about this. This is, I notice it. I think, and next, most welcome to respected Chairman, Mr. Deepak Shatwalkar, to my company. I think expect my companies in future up to date, most growth by his leadership and also good health. Also, thanks to ex-chairman, respected Mr. Ashwin Dani, for his enhanced contributions to my company. Excellent representation from respected chairman, innovation strategies, growth in decorative paints, new products, current development, future strategies and roadmap, 250 own franchisee stores, and also a beautiful home services. I have noted all the valuable points, sir. Coming to financial performance, excellent financial performance, 25,188.51 crore standalone revenue, 36% growth beyond all this pandemic and restrictions in very protocolic measure in production units, also to supply chains. Also, members rewarded with interim dividend 3.65 and final dividend rupees 15.50. Excellent rewarding policy from my company's management team to members. Sir, maybe concentrate in consolidated profit. That consolidated profit also going down. This is my past view.
Also, what is the present financial status? You mentioned very much impairment happening into currency translation, Causeway Paints Lanka. If possible, throw some highlights about the present financial performance of that subsidiary. About international business concerned, you mentioned 10% of the total revenue, aggregating rupees 2,894.9 crore. In respect, our respected MD mentioned the year has been extremely challenging our international footprint. Key markets, Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sri Lanka further derailed recovery. But in USA, UK, Nepal, Bangladesh, Singapore, a good market. Also, our decorative business, kitchen, bath. So, through some possible highlights to enhance international business, because the international market is also upgrowing and emerging and very prosperity. So, through some highlights, the future roadmaps, because we have with our subsidiaries operation 22 countries globally, 27 paint manufacturing facility servicing consumer in 65 countries through Barjar International, SCIB Paints, APCO Coatings, and Taubmans. Please throw some highlights, the future roadmap to enhance international business, because rupee is very ongoing weak against dollar. Also, industrial business, 2.5% of the total revenue, aggregating rupees 723.3 crores. Respected chairman also mentioned in his starting speech, very positive steps will taken for industrial business. Also 50-50 joint venture with PPG USA, a global leader in coatings. By the way, India is uprising economy. Very industrialization is ongoing with startups and very FDI also in increasing in our India. So what's positive step taken to enhance our industrial business segment? If possible, throw some highlights. Coming to present situation, the financial year 23 is very turbulent. Higher in inflations, WPI also 15.9%. Also, RBI ongoing to hike the repo rate to fight against inflations, and commodity also very volatile. 30% of our paints commodities are imported, and there is very logistics cost uprising. Also, volatility in shipping. So some highlights about our domestic business in regarding 3 remaining quarters. Next, coming to 3 points, we mentioned we have launched 7 products in this financial year 22. Throw some highlights, the distribution potential response with these new products. If possible, throw some highlights. Positive business response, limited liability, Qatar, you mentioned, Asian Paints International Private Limited, Singapore, recently World Cup football organized. So positive business performance from that subsidiary. If possible, throw some highlights. Also, you mentioned our home decoration, 2.6% of total revenue. But you also business profit now acquired the 90 crore infusion of 51% stake, further acquisition of 23.9% stake in Weather Show Fenestration Private Limited, and also share purchase with teak acquisition, with white teak. So with this acquisition, you throw possible highlights our business in home decorations in future. Regard to cost optimization, cost control steps taken, because cost of raw materials heavy high than previous year, 13,830 crore for 9 against 8,524.7 crore. Traveling expenses also very higher, 72.46 crore. Because last year, my country also faced pandemic, and also there is very restriction. So this is why this traveling expenses is higher. Also, miscellaneous expenses is very higher, 524.21 crore against 388.99 crore. And other financial liabilities also mentioned, many directors and others, payment dues in other financial liabilities, 1,524.78 crores against 1,276. Inventory is also higher than previous year. Trade receivable also higher than previous year. And steps taken, waste generation mentioned metric tons, 10,991.91 metric tons against 6,946.87. So steps taken, because waste is highly generated. And my previous speaker also mentioned return on capital employed, EBITDA data margin also came down regarding the financial year 22. Also, standalone net fixed asset also came down. This is noted, sir, this point. Also, finally, the CapEx program next to 3 years, where a domestic leader paints invested double of their CapEx spend. And for this reason, on 25 May 22, many domestic leading paint company share price came down from the capital market. So nothing to say more. I praying to God, everybody associated to my company with good health and prosperity. Thanking you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, next speaker shareholder, Mr. Virajesh Shah.
Hello.
Yes.
सर आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
Yes, sir.
ओके सर, साजिद सर, थैंक यू सर. सर, एशियन पेंट कंपनी बहुत बढ़िया डिविडेंड दे रही है अभी. मैं वही चाहता हूं कि समझ लीजिए कि कंपनी में शेयर होल्डर को बोनस डिविडेंड और बढ़िया मिल जाए तो अच्छा होगा, उनकी वेल्थ भी क्रिएट हो जाएगी. एशियन पेंट का फ्यूचर प्लान क्या है? अभी क्रूड का जो रेट बढ़ रहा है तो उसमें कंपनी में कितना इफेक्ट हो सकता है, तो उसके प्रॉफिट में भी इफेक्ट होगा, तो उसके लिए कंपनी क्या कर रही है वो मुझे जानना था सर. थैंक यू सर.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker shareholder, Mr. Darav Jamadar.
Good afternoon to every dignitaries on DAS. My name is Mr. Dharav Jamadar and I am a research scholar, PhD Finance from Surat. I am a proud shareholder of the company and also a proud customer, from sanitary ware to paints to even curtains in home decor. So first of all, I would like to congratulate my board of Asian Paints Limited on presenting such a fabulous numbers in the last financial year. Furthermore, I would like to ask some questions from my end, which I would be glad if answered. First question, looking at the current scenario when there is depreciating rupee, high and volatile crude oil prices and disruption in supply chain, how is my company bracing itself in order to keep generating higher cash flows in future? Second, how is the progress of replacing the crude oil as the basic raw material in paint going? By when can we expect the company to introduce paint in which there is the paint is completely crude free or it is used at its minimum level? Third, my company has shown company has tremendously shown how a paint company can have a non-organic growth by venturing in different sections of home decor. So what more launches can we expect in this particular financial year? Fourth, which segment of our company's broad product portfolio do you think will get most hit because of rising concern of inflation and interest rate? Fifth, what employee engagement programs has my company conducted in order to keep employees engaged and energized for the broader mission and vision of the company? Sixth, how much do you think will our margin get impacted by the rising competition in the industry with conglomerates entering in the paint industry for the first time? Seventh, what outlook do you have for the sales of our company for the monsoon and the festival season which is lying ahead? Eighth, being a finance research scholar, PhD, with all my immense skills and knowledge, I would wish to work for my company too, apart from just being a customer and shareholder. So I would be glad if you're providing me in any opportunity to being an employee of the company. And the last question, is there any possibility to see our beloved mascot Gattu back again? Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker shareholder, Mr. Rajan Patadia. Yes, Mr. Rajan.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we are able to hear you. Please speak.
Okay. So, first of all, I have got many questions. First question is the two brands we have acquired. Okay. So, how CEO will tell whether they were acquired at a fair value? And the second question is, can we not have done this in very organic manner rather than going in an inorganic approach? That's first thing. Second thing is, when I see three of our listed peers have shown profit growth more than us in last 1 year as well as 3 years. Okay. So revenue growth is good, but if profit is not coming, there is one point I want to answer. The another thing is, please hold virtual meeting even if you are holding physical meeting next year, because of all cannot travel and they still want to ask questions. That's one thing. Okay. Now, the another question is that we assume that all people entering in the competition is rational, so they are entering with huge capital. But what if they have got some irrationality, and due to that, our own profitability is affected very large? So I want answer on that also. If this we have got a mammoth market cap, can we use it in our favor by acquiring any other companies at relatively very low valuation? That's another thing. Yeah. Also, I want to congratulate CEO for in tough, gaining market share in this very tough environment. So that's one thing. But I want answer on that profit growth part. Yes. That's.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all for your participation and for your constructive suggestions and comments. Dear members, on the bonus and the buyback issue, the board and the management continuously strives to strengthen the business of the company and deliver sustainable performance. This sustained and strong performance reflects in the market valuation, which has benefited all shareholders. Apart from consistently increasing the dividend payout, the board continues to evaluate other options for rewarding shareholders and would take any decision in the best interests of shareholders at an appropriate time. On the dividend, the board has strived to maintain a balance of shareholder rewards and business requirements for future growth potential. The company has ensured consistent growth in dividend payout. In the last 5 to 6 years, dividend payout has been in the range of 50 to 59%. With respect to the question around the competition in the paint industry, as a leader, we continuously work on expanding the market potential through newer value propositions and looking at increasing the distribution reach to make the products accessible to larger parts of the market. However, even today, the per capita paint consumption in India is much lower as compared to some of the other comparable markets, and hence, the market offers strong growth potential. In this context, there is enough potential to absorb the new capacities that have been announced by existing as well as new players. For Asian Paints, the critical agenda is to further cement the loyalty of dealers, contractors, and consumers, and sustain this long-term relationship. With or without new competition, our focus is always on providing a super value proposition to our customers and continuously keep evolving to maintain our relevance to the consumers. Over the last few years, we have increased our focus on innovation, bringing out new and superior product offerings, and have also increased the pace of enhancing our distribution reach. Another key focus is on creating service as a differentiator through a range of varied and comprehensive services getting delivered through our wide channel network and at a very high quality. We will continue to take steps to connect our customer connect further, to enhance our customer connect further. In reference to the current geopolitical situation, all commodities, including crude, have seen steep increases in prices, which has affected our business. It is extremely difficult to form a view on these commodity prices given the volatile environment. We will continue to put focus on optimizing our raw material input to negate the impact of these prices. During the financial year 2021-22, the business was adversely impacted by the steep inflation seen across raw materials, which resulted in reduction of EBITDA margins and consequently drop in ROCE. The company has already taken steps during the course of the year to reduce the impact of this inflation, which is reflected in the improving margins on a quarter-on-quarter basis, and would strive to improve them further. The company is currently undertaking brownfield capacity expansion projects at some of its existing locations. The benefit of this will be realized over the next couple of years, which would enable us to address the growing demand. For questions on bath and kitchen business, both businesses have performed exceptionally well in the financial year 2021-22, with 50% growth in top line and more than a 20% CAGR growth since acquisition. With the scale-up of business, bath business had positive EBITDA throughout the year, and kitchen business reported positive EBITDA in the last 2 quarters of the year. While we have large number of competitive players in both these markets, for us, both of these product offerings are a key element of our larger home decor vision, under which we aspire to provide a one-stop comprehensive home decor solutions to our customers. Sorry. In the international markets, this year was challenging due to the inflationary conditions, and this impacted profitability of the business. Further, the currency devaluation in some of the markets like Lanka, Egypt and Ethiopia further impacted the profits. In terms of future path, we continue to focus on growing our presence in these markets by having a strong focus on growing the premium and luxury categories and thereby improving the profitability of the business. Specifically in Sri Lanka, the situation remains extremely uncertain, with country facing challenges in sourcing even essential goods. We continue to support our operations and maintain a reasonable market presence despite these challenges. In Indonesia, our greenfield operations have seen a good scale up in the last 2 to 3 years. We will continue to grow the business and are working on enhancing our product portfolio, introducing categories like waterproofing. For the industrial business, the focus of the government to increasing the manufacturing sector of the economy presents excellent opportunity for growth in the industrial coating sector, and we would continue to take steps to tap into this opportunity. Over the last 2 years, despite the pandemic situation, the company continues to grow strongly across business segments. We continue to increase our employee strength to support the growth in business and have given normal salary increments even during this period. There was a question about whether we have sacked any employees. We haven't sacked employees, but we've increased the strength. We take note of your suggestions on holding a physical AGM. We will take an appropriate decision in the best interest of all stakeholders for the forthcoming AGMs. The integrated report brought out in the last 2 years has enhanced the disclosures about business performance, and the company would continue to take steps to improve further on this. Dear members, in case any of the queries raised by you during this meeting have remained unanswered, you may send a request by writing an email to the Company Secretary. The Company Secretary, on receipt of any such request, shall respond suitably. Members may note that the voting on the NSDL platform will continue to be available for the next 15 minutes. Therefore, members who have not cast their votes yet are requested to do so. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes. We had 200 members participating today in this 76th Annual General Meeting. We are grateful to all our shareholders from all over the world who joined the meeting through video conference. Friends, with that, I conclude today's proceedings. Thank you all for making it convenient to attend this meeting. We look forward to seeing you again next year. Be safe and be healthy.
Recording stopped.